Hi, welcome to our Isolation Masterclass. Today, I'm Elaine Petrucci, and I am excited that you're here today to learn a little bit more about isolation and the frightening statistics about how it really impacts your health and ways that you can improve your isolation so that you become a better caregiver. So let's start. Again, we are talking about isolation and 5 tips to stay positive and healthy during social isolation. Sometimes when we're feeling isolated, we do feel like we're in a tunnel and looking at this big wide world and not knowing how to navigate it. And that is something we will be discussing today. Let's look at the definition of isolation and loneliness. They're 2 words that are used interchangeably, however, they are different. So social isolation is the lack of social connection. Loneliness is a feeling of being alone, regardless of the social contact. So loneliness, you still can feel loneliness whether someone is around you or not. Social isolation is really the lack of any social connection. Let's look at some symptoms of social isolation. You avoid social interactions. You cancel plans frequently. You experience anxiety or panic. And you feel really distressed or upset during periods of solitude and when you're alone. You're feeling dread associated with social activities. You just feel very uncomfortable about being around other people. Spending large amounts of time alone or with extremely limited contact with others. Now let's look at the physical distancing effects on social isolation. Physical distancing measures have caused a profound shift in workplace interactions. Many businesses have adopted work from home policies, while others were forced to close during the effects of reduced consumer activity. Yes, it is better now, and working at home is still probably a great option for many people. A study conducted by a Stanford University researcher found that 42% of the United States labor force was working from home full-time during the COVID-related economic shutdown, while 33% were not working at all. And this physical distancing in the past have really affected activities related to work, school, church, and leisure because the amount of time was reduced or eliminated. Opportunities for regular in-person interactions were typically limited to home environments, and COVID-19 sudden severe reduction in social interaction has resulted in many people feeling lonely. Even with the restrictions that now have been lifted, people are still feeling a bit stuck in being isolated from other people. So the effects of loneliness and isolation are depression, poor sleep quality, impaired executive function, accelerated cognitive decline, poor cardiovascular function, impaired immunity at every stage of life, and there's a risk of premature death from every cause for every race. Let me just share a few statistics with you. More than 1/3 of adults aged 45 and older feel lonely. Nearly 1/4 of adults aged 65 and older are considered to be socially isolated. So with those two statistics alone, many people are feeling isolated or lonely. Let's look at some of the health risks of loneliness and social isolation. Social isolation significantly increased a person's risk of premature death from all causes, a risk that might rival those of smoking, obesity, and physical inactivity. The social isolation that we've experienced was associated with about a 50% increased risk for dementia. Poor social relationships characterized by social isolation or loneliness were associated with a 29% increased risk of heart disease and a 32% increased risk of stroke. Loneliness was associated with higher rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide. Loneliness among heart failure patients was associated with nearly 4 times increased risk of death, a 68% increased risk of hospitalization, and a 57% increased risk of emergency department visits. We need to really address when to seek professional help. If you are experiencing confused thinking, excessive feelings of anger or fear, you have extreme swings in emotion, an inability to cope with daily problems, substance abuse, major changes in eating or sleeping patterns, numerous unexplained physical ailments, prolonged depression, and social withdrawal. My whole goal for caregivers is that you break those chains of isolation. We're not meant to be an island, and we need that social interaction as one of our 7 areas of need. And we need people. We need to trust them. We need to have those positive interactions with others. We need to be able to share our innermost thoughts and feelings, concerns, opinions with others. We're social beings, and we are not meant to be isolated or lonely. So tip number 1 is to maintain a connection with people that you love, either virtually or in person. And now with the COVID-19 restrictions that are lifted, you can make sure that now you have more opportunities to visit with the people that you love and care about. Tip number 2 is to get regular physical activity or exercise. It's so important. I know for myself, when I wasn't able to take walks around my neighborhood because of the ice on the sidewalks and streets, I really missed having that ability to get some physical exercise during the day so that I could really begin stimulating my mind. So tip number 3 is maintain a heart-healthy diet. You want to make sure that you're eating a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, healthy meals, or cutting down on packaged dinners or foods, and just to eat as well as you can so that you can maintain your health while you're caregiving. My 4th tip is to really find a support group. It is so critical that you get the feedback from other people, such as in my Caregiver Lifeline community, where you can talk with other caregivers, you can talk with the experts who have been speaking at my summits, and you can have access to their programs if you so choose, and you have access to me because I have been in your shoes before. Tip number 5 is really make time for yourself. I would really love you to not feel shame or guilt. It's something that will fill your cup so that you can better help the person that you're caring for. You need to journal. You need to have a gratitude journal. You read a book, have a cup of coffee, take a swim. Whatever you love to do it for a specified amount of time every day or whatever suits your schedule so that you are working with more vigor and strength than if you were not taking care of yourself. I would like you to take this free caregiver stress test that's given by AARP, and I will put that information in the notes after our talk today. So you can take the test and find out just how stressed you are from being isolated and or lonely or not taking care of yourself. These are some caregiver assistance and support groups that you can use to find the support groups that you need in your area. Ask all the questions and all your frustrations and concerns with other people so that you maintain those social interactions with others. So you can go to AARP, the Family Caregiver Alliance, caregiver.com, Caregiver Action Network, the Rosalind Carter Institute for Caregiving, or the Well Spouse Association. And like I had mentioned before, when we were talking about the tips, I really want you to break those chains of isolation and loneliness. I really would like you to have less stress, be more present with yourself and other people. I want you to stay centered so you can make decisions easily and effortlessly, and that you could be more confident about the skills that you have and know that you can manage whatever mishap or emergency situation that occurs in your day, because you'll be creating more ease and joy for yourself as well as the person that you're caring for. break the chains now and do more, be more, and live more. I'd like you to book a 30-minute free discovery chat with me at this link listed on the screen so that we could talk and I can learn more about your specific situation, about isolation and loneliness, or any other caregiving topic that you would like to discuss. My goal is for you to break those chains, to lead a purpose-filled life. And with this free discovery call, we can determine if you would like to learn to manage your mind through self-hypnosis and to influence your outcome in any circumstance that arises during the day. My next self-hypnosis masterclass is on June 2nd. It's a full day from 8 to 4 masterclass where you will be able to become 10,000 times more focused on your intentions for the day, for yourself and the person that you're caring for. And you'll be 50,000 times more accountable for achieving your goals and your intentions every day, because you will be using and unlocking your unconscious mind to help you find the solutions to any situation that might arise during your day. So again, please book a free discovery chat with me at calendly.com/MaryElaine/30min. And we can talk about whether the self-hypnosis masterclass will be a great option for you in your caregiving role. My next class again is June 2nd from 8 to 4 Mountain Standard Time. I'm here for support for you because I've walked in your shoes. I've arranged 24/7 care for my parents. I went to court 2 days before Christmas to seek guardianship of my mother who had Alzheimer's because my father was in denial that she had the diagnosis. So my passion is for caregivers and giving you the tools that you need, not only for yourself, because it also will involve improved relationships with your family, your colleagues, your loved one, the person you're caring for, and you can have that purpose-filled life that you desire. Other ways you can contact me is at the Caregiver Lifeline Academy. You can book a free discovery chat with me at my Calendly link, and you can also reach me by my email address here on the screen. I want to thank all of you for taking your time to talk about social isolation and loneliness and the impact it has on your health when you are not able to have those social interactions with other people in your life, and so that you can have a better outlook on life and how your purpose fits into life as well. Thank you again. It's been my pleasure to speak with you during this masterclass today, and I hope that you will be joining us next week, because we will be talking about the lack of support for caregivers and the great need that caregivers have to know that employers, family, friends understand what you're doing while you're caregiving. I want you to be seen, heard, and recognized. And my ultimate goal is to advocate for you so that your life becomes one of joy and ease. Thank you for joining me.